Alright everyone, welcome back to Florida Racing in the IMSA series. We are here at Laguna Seca for the RoadCraft Sportscar Championship. And we are on track. Alright, so we get to test out the cars here in the evening, see what the cars can do as we qualify here into the evening at Laguna Seca. Very beautiful track. Also, all the people that built houses around the track that complain about race car noise, they get to hear lovely race car noise, which it's our honor to bring them loud, obnoxious race cars to ruin their very sad and pitiful lives. Because you build a house next to a racetrack and complain about racetrack noise. That's a sad reality. It's very sad. Anyways, well, we got our Aston Martin Florida Racing Mobile number 75 here, getting it tested out at Laguna Seca, and I have to say, car feels very, very good. So from our practice session, which we've cut out of these videos just because they're kind of long anyways, but we did some adjustments. We got brand new downforce added on by up in the front nose downforce splitter, and changing on some downforce on the rear end of the car. And I must say the car feels far nicer than it did previously, so we'll see what we can do here in the qualifying session and see what we end up with here. And we're going to try and not get destroyed by one of the GTP cars, as we have GTD Pro, which of course we are a part of, and of course the GTD cars. NMP2 apparently is not racing here once again this year. Interesting. Probably too many cars on track is probably the issue, but still interesting that NMP2 is not racing once again. So, anyways, voice is going to be a little bit on the weird side, is slowly getting over something that I picked up the week previous to recording this, so hopefully voice will hold on all the way through here. But anyways, RoadCraft, if you guys haven't already pre-ordered it, RoadCraft is coming out on May 20th. I've already got mine pre-ordered, and we'll be making some videos on that. I haven't decided exactly which channel we're going to promote as we get hit by one of the GTP cars. Promote that on the most, whether it's going to be the farmer or the gamer. Let me know down in the comments if you have a preference. But if you haven't pre-ordered it already, you can check out the links down below to see if you can get your version of it for Xbox or PlayStation. Of course, you can always order it on Steam for PC. But one of the games that I am definitely most excited about this year is that game right there. So we will have to see how that game works, because it was definitely fun playing in the demo, and so I'm very excited to see how that game plays once it's fully released. So I think it's going to be fun. But anyways, moving on from that, we've got to get ourselves, I think we've actually finally got the AI right where I want them. We kept having issues where the AI were just kind of slow in the previous races, and even with that, in the previous races, we had some abysmal. So let's go through what we've done so far. So Daytona, the Road X24, we won it, running away with it. And then we had Sonoma filling in for Sebring, and well, that was a catastrophe, as we had bad strategy on what tires we were putting on, and also rain. So we ended up not quite finishing last, but pretty close to last. Then we had, of course, the abomination known as the Long Beach Grand Prix, in which I just totally had a good day until my car got destroyed by GTP cars. So anyways, we need to redeem ourselves and get ourselves back in the points. Although there is no point system. I should have rigged up one, honestly, but did not get to that point. But anyways, in theoretical terms, we need some much better points for our car here than we are at currently. Also, I'm not sure what the car's doing here. So let me focus in on what we got going on here is we seem to be kind of nose diving a little bit. Might have to take that downforce off the nose and put that back on, just leave it on the rear end, because it seems like the nose is diving into the corner a lot more than I would like. So we might have to go back to the pits and do that, because this car was a lot faster in practice. But yeah, I think we finally got the AI to a point where they're actually more competitive, so this could make things a whole lot more interesting for me. And we totally just sent it off of that hill there. That's always a cool shot on TV, watching those cars just rip around the hill at Laguna Seca. That's just always so cool. Okay, we're not gaining any time, so we're coming to the pits. Alright, coming back out of the pits. We're going to try this once again. Luckily, we have a few minutes in which to hopefully get a qualifying time in. But I also changed something else that we had. We kept having a front brake issue, where the front brakes were constantly overheating. And so hopefully with the readjustments that we made, we've gotten that fixed, because that was a really big issue that we continued to have, where the brakes were just really high in the front. So we kind of changed the brake pressure just a little bit, kind of evened that out just a tad. We also switched from the soft tires, which we were testing out there, to the hard tires, which we were running in practice. And we're going to see if those work. Obviously, we're going to run hard tires for the race, as there should not be any need for a pit stop in this particular race, but we'll find out. Shouldn't be. Should not need to be any need whatsoever for a pit stop, but we will find out here. So trying to get the car nice and heated up on the tires here. So we took a little bit of downforce off the nose. Still a little bit swirly, but it seemed like in the longer run during practice, the car seemed to really even out quite well once we got the all the tires warmed up, brakes and everything all at the right temp. But the main thing that we were really having was we were running like 500 degrees on the front brakes consistently on this track, and we just really needed to change that up. So we changed the brake bias a little bit more towards the back, just so that we're not digging in nearly as much as we were on those front brakes, because that was ended up being a bit of a problem, because there was just no way we were going to work that. Yeah, I need the rear end to pop out just a little bit more. It's not as loose as I typically like it here. There we go, got around that corner a little bit better, looking like we're trending in the right direction. That's what we want to see. A little off throttle time there through the turn. Keeps us nice and consistent. We're losing time though, which is a little bit weird. Should have saw something in the test notes, but I couldn't read what it said there fast enough. But something interesting. Got a Mercedes in front of us here. Got a GTP car behind us too, giving us some lovely damage. And huge crash in front of us during qualifying. Good night. Now we got damage. What on earth was that about? NMP1, also known as GTP here for our fill-in, being an absolute ignoramus, surrounded by slower traffic during qualifying session, and now he's going to have to fix that car before the race. We got a little bit of suspension damage that, well, we're going to have to fix. We also got some front aero damage as well. We're going to try and get another lap in, because that one was garbage because of that incident. We were actually trending really well. Yeah, my worst turn is turn 1, just because I tend to miss my braking zone. Alright, so now we got a little bit of suspension damage we got to fight with. A little bit smoother through there. Qualifying session is over, so this is going to be my final lap of the session, which we knew. But we've got to get some better lap times here, or else we're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Ooh, nicely done through that turn. Could have gotten a little bit more speed though, which would have helped us out. We're just trying to gain a little bit if we can. And we're just going to jump over it. We're just going to send it. That lost us more time than it actually gained us. Typical. I mean, the car's already hurt, so I mean, we're not going to be able to hurt the car any more than it already is. Yeah, because of that suspension damage, I'm not really able to get the drive off of that corner. Because typically I can get a really good corner. Get the second gear. Ooh, we're still turning in the green. On just a little bit. There we go. We bumped up our time ever so slightly. So thanks to the dingbat that had to wreck us during qualifying. Let's see, Corvette GT on the front. Oh, we're actually starting third. We will start third in the race. Sweet, that's where we want to be. Lots of GTE and, of course, the GTD, the guys down there below as well. Alrighty, well, let's head to the race then. Alright, everyone, welcome to the RoadCraft Monterey Sportscar Championship, and we are off. Starting from third here in our Florida Racing Mobile, and looks like a very clear day today. Should not be any rain whatsoever in the forecast. Definitely like that. Got a car going to my inside already. Aggression is at its highest with these cars, so we're going to see how well they do at that. We're going to go to the inside of him now, race him like he raced us in the turn one, and we have secured second place here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. A little bit off in the dirt. Oh, caught a bump there, and it ended up shifting us to the left there like I wasn't expecting. 4GT on the inside. Ooh, got into him just a little bit. Let's get this Corvette here. Now this was a C8 Corvette. He wouldn't be there in the first place. He'd be all the way in the back of the field. But since it's a C7, he's actually doing really good. Something about engine placement, I think, and performance. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, seems like when the engine was in the front, they were faster. Also, maybe the aerodynamic design of the car. Yeah. Anyways, that's Corvette. Yeah. See, so going through that turn, one of the things that you do is that once you get the car starting to turn and you hit the throttle, you really want to hit second gear, because that just really helps out with your response. Get back in the second gear here as we get through this turn. See if we can get to this Corvette. Oh yeah, and that last turn before the straight, you really want to hit second gear as you hit the throttle, or else you could be really spinning the tires on that, and just not going to help you out at all. Alright, so we got a little bit of nose damage from contact with the 4GT. We got 27 minutes left in the race already. And amazingly, everybody is... Oh, good night. Engine shut off there. That's not good. And everybody right back there. So, pretty tight field, all things considered. Trying to get to this 4GT, though. 4GT. Chevrolet Corvette. 4GT's behind me. We're going to get a nice 8-second, well, currently we're going to get an 8-second knocked off of our original lap time here. Get the car turned, hit that second gear, out of the corner. It just helps the tires from breaking loose as you're trying to make that turn successful. And because if you do that in first, it can really send you, at least in this car anyways, it can really send you into the wall, which is not a fun experience when you're just trying to make it for 30 minutes in a race. Not what you want at all. Corvette doing a really good job continuing to maintain his distance from us. So we got hard tires on, not running the softs. Hallelujah. Because I don't think the softs would make it all the way through the race. So as I said, not expecting anybody to be doing any sort of pit stops. Obviously, we're going to have to see what happens when GTP cars make it through. And I am just throttle all the way down as much as I can here. try and get to this Corvette. Caught up to him a little bit. Gonna kind of miss the corner there and go into the dirt a little bit. Don't want to make a habit of that, but we did gain a little bit of time there. You can see that we're doing a real good lap time so far. A little bit off throttle into the corner. That was a really good take in that corner, actually. So tires finally getting up to peak temp. Brakes, looking at what the brakes are doing here. Brakes still running on the warmer side more than I would like, but they're a little bit more even of temperature, so we're not doing too bad on that. They were really looking bad during that practice session that we had earlier. I mean, they were just, it was almost the right side consistent. Yeah, we're still seeing that a little bit, but they're a little bit more evened out. They're not spiking as much, because we were in the yellow on our little brake graph there in the right bottom corner. You would see just yellow because the brakes were getting so warm on the right side, mostly the right front, but the right side of the brakes was really having an issue. Looking at engine temps, we had 219. About the same as we were running in the long session during practice, so nothing of major concern there. We would definitely not want to do that for a longer race. We want to be running a little bit on the lower side. We're keeping up with Corvette. Corvette has a good drive off from us, though, on acceleration, so we're going to have to try and work our hardest to get to him here. A little bit early on the brake there. Ooh, that actually worked out for our favor a little bit. Looked a little bit better getting to him. Gonna rest my voice here for a little bit and just do some racing. But don't worry, we're not gonna speed up or time lapse anything. We're gonna keep it at a regular pace and let you listen to the beautiful sounds of an Aston Martin chasing down a Corvette. And we bring you the 19 minutes to go report, presented by RoadCraft. Well, at least my affiliate links to RoadCraft. Check them out in the description below. But anyways, we got the GTP guys. They are slowly, actually pretty quickly, closing in on me and Mr. Corvette here. And so we're going to try and get on the front straightaway here and out of their way, hopefully, as much as we can. And let them on through without any problems to our car, we hope. Except Ding Dong can't. There we go. There we go. He figured it out. I was saying he should be able to figure this out pretty easily. So that's going to be interesting as we get through traffic here. More GTP cars to follow. And they're going to be catching us in weird spaces. Like that one. We'll go wide and off the track here. I'll let these guys on through as much as we can without getting destroyed like we did at Long Beach, hopefully. Don't want to repeat that if we can help it. So trying to stay on the outside here, or inside of the track to some degree, and let them on by. Should be the last of them right there. So far, 26 cars entered the race. So far, 26 cars remain. So no mechanical failures or DNFs as far as we can tell. So definitely a good day for them. Corvette's getting a little held up there. So not overly helping us out a whole lot there. Kept about the same distance here. Let's get back to work and see if we can't get to Mr. Corvette. We've kept him in the sights and we had one good dive on him. We just haven't quite been able to get back to him. So let's work on it. Luckily we have put a good gap on the rest of the field. So we don't really have any of the other GTD Pro guys to really worry about racing, or the GTD guys for that matter. Has done a really good job putting a gap on all of those. Trying to be aggressive here as much as we can. A little bit off throttle, turn in, all the way back to throttle. Let's see what we can do here. Close the gap. Close the gap. Back to Mr. Corvette here. Off throttle through here. I'm not going to make a dive into this turn because that's just not a good idea. Well, we're going to make a slight dive. Oh, okay. He checked up more than I thought he would. I did not mean to touch him, but he checked up a whole lot more than I thought he was going to in that turn. I was just trying to be on the inside on the acceleration. He's going to go to the inside here. Let him have that. We'll go back to him on the inside crossover and get that position back, fighting with the Corvette here. Number 3 Corvette to be exact. And getting the Aston Martin out in front. Definitely huge right there to finally get past him. That was a fun switch back and forth there in turns 1. I guess it might be 1 and 2, but for sure it's turn 1, nothing else. Now we gotta kind of just cruise and just block if we can. Just nice and easy, no mistakes. Just let the car kind of relax a little bit, relax ourselves, kind of off throttle a little bit more to get the engine cooler, and just take it as easy as possible. So we now are driving away from him. So he might have used up a good portion of his tires because we kind of backed off a little bit, kind of going a little bit crazy in this race because we did some off tracking, a little pass in the dirt there a little bit. Ooh, that was not good. Went all the way to first gear as we were trying to brake. Which I don't mind, but just it was weird the timing of when I hit that. Kind of bogged the whole car down in the turn, which is not typically what I want here. and have finally gotten a little bit better at, instead of holding the brakes into the turn, we're actually doing a much better job of kind of pedaling the brake, which is helping us out with response and stuff. Plus also we're not getting as much temperature into the brakes, which is also nice. But that's something I've been slowly working on, is doing a nice pedaling of the brake. I guess probably the wrong terminology for some people, but the best way that I can do it, instead of just holding the brake, we're just kind of on and off pedaling it into the corner. Get a nice little breakage there, not holding it. And that's really helping out one of my lap times, also my ability to turn, which is also good. But we are first in our class, and we did that after being second for the majority of this race. And we are 13 minutes to go here. Got a little loose right there. Very nice. But yeah, us in the Corvette, we have really put a gap on the rest of the GTD Pro field. That everyone else must be back there fighting or something, but we have really separated ourselves from the rest of the field and doing a really good job at it. We still have only like 3 points of damage on the arrow, and that's the front nose arrow. So doing a good job with that. And fuel looks really, really good. So we got plenty of fuel. Tires, you can definitely see the front tires really wearing out quite a bit. Glad we went with hard tires on these. And temperatures and everything are looking about as they should. Nothing really weird there, and we're being nice and easy with the car and still keeping a good gap to the Corvette behind us. So we're doing a good job. So the GTP guys, they are on lap 15 of this 30-minute session. Ooh, got the wheel off on the gravel, and that just sent us around there. Not what you want to do. Get that wheel off the gravel and get it stuck in the groove. You do not need that to happen. That is not helpful. Alrighty guys, we bring it back for the 7 minutes to go update. This one's going to be pretty important as we got the GTP cars closing in on us once again. So we're going to have to thread the needle with them coming through, along with keeping ourselves in front of the Corvette. So this is going to be kind of a fun experience. Just going to try and take it nice and easy as much as we can here. See if they're not close enough to pass yet. They're going to be after this turn though. Try and stay to this side right here. Let them have that lane as much as possible. We'll go to the outside here. Let them have the inside there. Go to this side over here. Not enough room for that guy to pass yet. Try and give him plenty of space here. There we go. Let those two guys go. I love it when all the cars go over that at the same time, especially when it's different classes at the same time. That's just such a neat shot. Got another guy coming through here. One more car to get through. There he goes. And that is the GTP class all the way through. Still, everybody still able to race through currently, so very nice. We got a little bit of engine damage that's starting to pop up on the engine. So if this was a longer race, we'd be able to pit for tires more than likely. Ooh, hit the, ow, hitting cones. But if this was a longer race, we'd be able to pit and probably fix a little bit of that engine damage. But for the moment, we're doing really, really good. Just nice and easy around the track here. We've continued to maintain a pretty consistent distance between us and the second place Corvette. So very happy with how we've done so far here. Nice and easy into this turn. Just trying to be nice and easy with it. We got quite a lot of wear on our tires. Everything's kind of evened out on the way the car's handling. So we really liked how it's handling. It's handling really, really good. And finally got, as I said, a decent feel for the brakes and whatnot. Doing some more coasting. So saving a little bit of fuel there as well now. So if this was more of a fuel economy race or longer, we might be able to save a little bit more, which would help. So just trying to learn all these things while we can, and we're at a good spot where we're not really getting pushed for the lead by the Corvette. He's pretty close, but not really a threat at the moment. But definitely if I make a mistake, definitely could be an issue. So going nice and easy is definitely the best play for us here, as we have 4 minutes to go in this race. So next up on the IMSA schedule in the real world would be Detroit, I believe. So have not decided what track we're going to substitute for that, because obviously don't have Detroit in Project Cars 2. So we'll have to figure out some sort of track to add on for that. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. And I believe after that it's either going to be Watkins Glen or something else, I believe, but I don't remember exactly. And we've also got Canadian Tire in there, which we don't have as a track to race at. So we'll have to figure out something else to substitute in for that track. But we've got a few more American tracks up our sleeve that we can add in. So we should be just fine, I would imagine. We got a little bit loose into that one with the weird shifting. Don't like when that happens. Sometimes you just hit the brake and the shift all at the same time while you're trying to actually turn the car. And the car gets very, very unsettled when you do that. So, kind of learning, hopefully not to do that. We don't do it too often, but it's definitely an unsettling feeling to be trying to brake and have a weird shift point and steering all at the same time. It's a weird combo. But not the funnest feeling in the car, for sure. Nice and easy, still keeping a nice gap from us and that Corvette. Doing a good job on that one. Almost at 2 minutes to go, so getting really close to getting this race wrapped up. Spent a good amount of time in the second position chasing Corvette. Finally got around him. Probably one of the first times we've really had a good side-by-side battle when we were chasing the guy. Lap time's decently consistent. It could be better, but right now, as I said, we're just kind of cruising at the moment. We're keeping that gap nice and even between us and the Corvette. Not really any need to over-push the car's limits. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, there we go. So about a second off of what we had been running, but then, you know, as I said, that's perfectly fine. Ooh, boy, hit the dirt patch right there. As we're coming to 1 minute to go here in the race. Picked up a little bit extra damage on the front nose there, hitting the cones when we got a little sideways, but other than that, doing really, really good. As I said, just taking it nice and easy here, as much as possible. Should be last lap when we come to the finish line next time by. The GTP class has made 23 laps around this circuit in that time. Pretty impressive. Because they are definitely going at it. And if you guys are interested in getting your channel mentioned in the credits of Florida Racing videos, you can become a sponsor of the Florida Racing team. Check out the memberships page on the channel. And if you guys are interested, you can become a Florida Racing sponsor and be mentioned in the end credits of all Florida Racing videos. And if you just want to help the channel out and become a member of Gamer Plus, you can get early access to select videos whenever I have the scheduling non-conflicting and able to put those up. And you can also get access to over 80 videos that I have as members only on the channel. So check that out. Alright, I think we'll be on 1 lap to go. Not positive though. We'll obviously find out if we are on the final lap when we come back around. Actually catching GTD class. So we have run some really good lap times here to be catching them at the end of this thing. Corvette's still behind me. We've opened up a little bit more of a gap. Not a whole lot, but just enough. Oop, bam, off in the dirt. Keep the foot in it. And back on track. Nice and easy. And I believe we should be coming to the checkers this time by. We're going to find out here. And we have finished the race, locking our second win of the season here at Laguna Seca for the RoadCraft Monterey Sportscar Championship. Very, very nice. Great job by the team, all things considered. Had a good setup on the car. Definitely like that. Did a really nice job with the car. His car just had plenty of speed, plenty of handling. Really, really like to get the Corvette up here so we can give him a wave. Because he did a really good job at the race too. A little bump there, because he did a good job. Really nice to see somebody else have a really good day, and he did a really good job at it. So definitely appreciate he racing us nice and cleanly, and we tried to race him as clean as possible. Kind of stuck my nose in a little bit too deep there into the final corner when I was trying to pass him, but he honestly checked up more than I thought he was going to. So that was definitely on me to give him a bump, but did a really good job. racing nice and cleanly, so we really appreciate him doing a good job. So, had fun. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for us. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Enjoyed doing these multi-class racing, always fun. And we will see you guys here next time on the Combustion Gamer with more Florida racing. As I said, if you like the videos, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We also got game news videos as well, talking about game trailers, game features, whatnot. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you guys here next time on the Combustion Gamer. Bye-bye.